What's going on, everybody? 1 week from the Super Bowl, 1 week from a Football Friday featuring the Super Bowl. Welcome to the Farzy Show. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's presented by Steven Singer, Steven Singer Jewelers. Hope everybody had a wonderful rest of your Thursday. And we got a Super Bowl to talk about. That's right. We got a Super Bowl to talk about, which I say so consistently with such joy because I cherish the moments. Brandon Graham spoke to the media yesterday. We'll hear from him on the show today. We'll hear from Jalen Hurts as well. But Brandon Graham talked about how he went through 8 years and thought, I might not get to a Super Bowl. Then he got to a Super Bowl. And then 5 years later, he gets to another Super Bowl. And if you remember, the season following the Super Bowl season that ended in New Orleans with that ball going through Alshon Jeffrey's hands on a pass from Nick Foles, Brandon Graham was walking off the field, had the beautiful, emotional moment with Derek Gunn. They're embracing, they're hugging. And then, and I've told this story many times, at the NovaCare complex after that loss, Brandon Graham still thought he was done, still thought he wasn't going to be coming back with the Eagles, thought the ride here in Philadelphia was over, and he was standing there at the exit sign, or the exit door, right? And he was hugging every media member. I got a hug. I got a nice bro hug from Brandon Graham. He thought it was over, and it wasn't over. He was back, and now he's back in the Super Bowl. How about that? But the point is he cherished the moments where he wasn't there. And every moment that now he is there, every second he is there, again, he's still cherishing those moments. And I feel like as a fan base, we need to be doing the same exact thing. And I know every fan base wants to think when you make a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl that the Eagles did a couple of years ago here, you want to think to yourself, oh, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of something great. This is a great run. Well, if there's anything I learned from the 08 Phillies, it's that no matter how great that team is, no matter how stacked that team is, in later years after 2008, no matter how stacked your rotation is, nothing is guaranteed. The game still has to be played. And when the game's played, the ball can bounce anyway. So you cherish every single moment. I've mentioned for the first 27 years of my life, there was no championship. There was no parade. There was nothing like that I could experience. So every moment that goes by over the next 7 days from now until next Friday, and then leading up to kickoff, leading up to the Super Bowl, and after the Super Bowl, I'm going to cherish every single moment. Brandon Graham is doing that same thing. We can learn from these guys, of course, and how beautiful a moment this is going to be. How many beautiful moments we're going to have over the next 7 days together. And then, of course, leading up until kickoff. And I know we're all stoked and all excited about it. I certainly am. We'll hear from Brandon Graham in a minute. We'll hear from Jalen Hurts in a minute as well. Jonathan Gannon, do we like him yet? I think we should like him. I feel like we should like Jonathan Gannon again. And I think you guys know why, because you guys are internet savvy. You saw the video of him driving by outside of the Wells Fargo Center all the way to the link and yelling to a fan who had his phone on, and he knew it was going to happen. Everything goes viral if it's something like this. Everyone's got a phone. Jonathan Gannon rolling down his window to say that we're going to bleeping gut these guys. These guys meaning the San Francisco 49ers, and boy, did they. On both sides of the football, regardless if it was a third string or fourth string quarterback or not, they handled that business. And they did just that. They gutted him. I know I saw a lot of people tweeting about it. I saw a lot of people commenting about it. And a lot of people were like, so we like him now, right? We like Jonathan Gannon now. Is that okay to admit that we actually like this guy now? I think it should be all right to admit that you like him. I'm the guy that a week ago was saying, all right, we got a guy here who, let's just leave the numbers aside for a second. In his rookie season as a defensive coordinator, was a top 10 defense. In his sophomore season as a defensive coordinator, was a top 5 defense in a lot of categories. Oh, and led the league in sacks. And for a long time, led the league in turnovers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and say he did a pretty decent job. And yes, I am going to give a nice hat tip to Howie Roseman, who I give most credit to for the how he shuffled the deck, how he brought guys in and brought the talent in and all that. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Howie Roseman in that regard as well. But as far as the defensive coordinator, just judging him isolated, I'm going to go judge him in terms of like. Because when you throw those numbers out the window, the thing I don't want to forget about is that a week ago, leading into the NFC Championship game, he was the guy talking about how intimidating a Philadelphia fan base can be and how a 6-time Pro Bowler was looking around the stands at Lincoln Financial Field before that NFC Championship game 5 years ago and just going, whoa. And he and that 6-time Pro Bowler looked at each other and thought to themselves, oh, this is the real deal. We thought we've seen or heard or played in electric environments before, but nothing is like Lincoln Financial Field. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, you can say it's pandering, but yeah, pander the hell out of it, please. By all means, pander to me. I don't think he's lying, though. Could he be telling a story that is just hitting at the right time? Yeah, he could have, but it still doesn't make it to lie. So I'm going to go ahead. File me under. I like Jonathan Gannon. And I didn't need the drive-by video of him saying that they were going to gut the bleeping Niners, basically. I didn't need it. Like the guy already. But now it seems like a lot more people are on that side. You know why? Because it's an aggressive comment. And some people might argue, well, that's the most aggressive thing Jonathan Gannon's ever done. Well, he still knew what battles his guys could win to be aggressive enough to get after the quarterback. Oof. Patrick Mahomes got that high ankle sprain. He is practicing. Just saying. If you're got any injury, if you got any limit of mobility, that's not a good thing. With Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, that's not a good thing. To have those guys looking to bring you down and you're not as mobile as you could be, that's a bad thing. So we'll get into that conversation. And a concern. It's not all puppy dogs and ice cream. There's two things. One, why does everyone hate us? And in this regard, I do care. James Harden is not an all-star. How is this year the year James Harden is not an all-star? How is this year, of all the years since 2013, I believe? 2012, excuse me. How is this the year that James Harden's not an all-star? There are two other people in the NBA who are not named James Harden. They're both all-stars. Joker's one of them. But there are two guys that are averaging double-doubles in assists and points. 20-plus double-double, 20-point double-doubles. Two guys in the NBA. James Harden's the third, and James Harden's the guy that's not the all-star. Averages the most assists per game in the NBA with 11, and he averages over 21 points per game. How is that guy not an all-star? Let's think long and hard about this one for a second here. Oh, wait, snubbed. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Couple that with the idea that Joel Embiid, the reigning scoring champion, and by the way, as of right now, current league leader in scoring in the NBA, is not an all-star starter. He is a reserve. James Harden, not an all-star. Joel Embiid, not a starter. I know everyone loves to say, no one likes this, we don't care. Whoa, but I care about this one because this is just outright disrespect. Outright disrespect here, folks. But damn ridiculous. What else do we got? Then the other thing that has me worried. I hesitate to even say it because I don't want to put this into the atmosphere, right? But I said earlier in the week, after we got away from the crying San Francisco 49ers fans, after we got away from all that, there's concerns about this Eagles team. This Eagles team offensively, and it really goes to show, it is kind of a compliment because they played bad, but they still scored 31 points. Jalen Hurts, I thought, played his worst game I've seen him play of the season. And they still scored 31 points as an offense. His, whatever you want to call it, his worst game still resulted in 31 points. So that's pretty damn good. But it does have me concerned a little bit because he did take a hit in this game, and he did get up, and he was wincing. And then yesterday when he addressed the media and he was asked about where he was at in the shoulder, he didn't say, great. He didn't say, oh, I'm 100% back, no problem. You know what he said? Getting better. Getting there. Time will tell. Getting there. Time helps. Getting there. I'll give him credit. He found a new phrase other than what was the one he was using before? Good enough. After they won the playoff game against the Giants in the divisional round. He said, "Hey, how's the shoulder? Good enough." After they beat the Vikings, how's the shoulder? Good enough. And then this time around, it's, oh, we're getting there. Okay. He was not accurate in this game against the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. There were overthrows. There was one throw down the field where he underthrew Devontae Smith. I actually went back and I watched the Devontae Smith mic'd up on the Eagles website. And Devontae Smith, the ball went right through his hands and it hit him in the chest. But if he leads him down the field, like we have seen him do this season, that's a touchdown. Nobody's getting to Devontae Smith on that particular play. So that is what it is. But he ended up not making the play on that. He went over to Jalen Hurts after the throw and said, that went right through my hands. That's on me, that kind of thing. Now, maybe that was the route for an attempted back shoulder throw, but I very much doubt it for a deep ball downfield like that. That's a special kind of throw that I haven't really seen Jalen Hurts make intentionally too many times. So he did not have a good game. There was overthrows of A.J. Brown. There was throws that were well out of bounds that could have been on the money for guys that were maybe a step or two inbounds in that game. There were throws that made me concerned about Jalen Hurts. They still scored 31 points, so I guess you could push it aside. But it's still on rotation in my brain. Because as much as you just want to think to yourself, and I'm thinking to myself, the Eagles are going to win this game. And my prediction right after the NFC Championship game was, I like the Eagles. The Eagles are the overall better team. Oh, what about experience? Hey, experience did it. Nick Foles beat Tom Brady, so experience really doesn't matter as much to me as it used to, okay? But when you look at games like that, when you look at the idea of one wildly experienced team, Patrick Mahomes tying Tom Brady for most Super Bowls started within the first 6 years of his career, of a career, is pretty incredible. But when you look back on all that, yes, I do think the Eagles are the better team here. But I do also try to look at ways that the Eagles would lose this game. And the number one thing that always jumps out is turnovers. The team that turns the football over is not going to win the game. All right? The other thing is, what if Jalen Hurts isn't healthy? Because the Jalen Hurts that played in the NFC Championship game, that version of Jalen Hurts, isn't winning a Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to play like that again. And maybe now 2 weeks removed from the shoulder injury, hoping that he didn't tweak it again against the 49ers during one of the run plays, which is a similar play to what we saw in Chicago that ended up knocking Jalen Hurts out for a couple games. What if he isn't 100% healthy? What if he can't be accurate down the field? What if he can't be accurate on those slant routes that we've seen so many times with A.J. Brown? What if that is a problem? Well, then, the Eagles are going to lose this game because this is going to be a close game. The Kansas City Chiefs are a very good football team. We talk about quarterbacks all day. That's great. But we also talk about pass rush. Eagles have the better pass rush. Nobody stacks up against them. But the Chiefs were number 2 in the league. If the Eagles didn't have a historic season, the Chiefs' 55-sack season would look pretty good. When they're being compared to a historic 70-sack season, it doesn't look that good. But they still have a very good pass rush. They have the second best pass rush in the league. A distant second, but still the second best pass rush in the league. Their defense can come to play too. But when it comes to the Eagles, I still believe, overall, if you pick paper, I still think the Eagles win this game. I think the Eagles are the better team. But when I try to look at ways they could lose this game, the number one thing that jumps out is the possibility of turnovers again. The other thing after that is not being 100% healthy. And you can say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes, not being 100% healthy with the high ankle sprain. But you also look at the Eagles, you look at Jalen Hurts, whether or not he's going to be even closer to 100% than what we have seen so far. You look at Lane Johnson still being banged up. I'm not as concerned as some other people, but I know he's making national news because he's playing hurt and he's playing at a high level, but he's still hurt nonetheless. And now they're going up against a really good pass rush. But you dispel that by saying you just went up against Nick Bosa, so you should be fine and dandy. We got good news earlier in the week about Landon Dickerson, whether or not he's going to be playing in this game. He is going to be playing in this game. Neither Lane Johnson nor Landon Dickerson, and nor did Avonte Maddox, did they practice yesterday. Eagles aren't coming into this feeling all hunky-dory, feeling 100%. But here's the deal. Whether you're Patrick Mahomes or you're Jalen Hurts, whether you're Landon Dickerson or Lane Johnson, this is the Super Bowl. If anyone is questionable, they're playing. Let me go ahead and answer the question. For anyone talking about, well, he's a little banged up, I don't know if he'll go. No, he's going. This is it. It doesn't even need to be explained. All that needs to be said is it's the Super Bowl. Everyone is going to be ready to go come this game. Everybody is going to be ready by kickoff. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it just like most of you guys. I'm here for it. I want to go over a couple of things here. Devontae Smith mic'd up. Let's get to this. I watched it yesterday. I highly recommend it. It's fun. It's like 5 minutes, whatever it is. But I was watching it, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. The thing I loved most about Devontae Smith mic'd up on the Eagles website was the fact that he is the ultimate cheerleader for the Eagles defense. Any play the Eagles defense made, he hops up off the bench, and he is losing his mind. He's going onto the field to celebrate with the defense as the defense is coming off the field. That little fumbled shotgun snap, that drop shotgun snap by Josh Johnson, Devontae Smith jumps off the bench, grabs his helmet, is like, our ball, our ball, our ball, our ball, our ball, our ball, our ball. I can't even say it as many times as he did, but he did, and he nailed it every single time. And he loves saying the word boy. Everyone's boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Love it. Absolutely love it. And before the game, it went over to Joel Embiid, Michael Rubin, and Kevin Hart and dabbed up with him before the game. And just cool to see Joel Embiid and Devontae Smith bro hug, which was nice. But very into it, very energetic, as one would assume. And when he makes a block on a play, he is ecstatic to make a block on a play. One thing that the mic'd up, and this was during the NFC Championship game, one thing they didn't do with the mic'd up, and I'm surprised they showed the play without showing him necessarily, like after the play. They show him making the alleged catch to set up the first touchdown of the game, the one that he did not catch, but still got up and was like, we got to run a play, get it up. And they got the playoff. They didn't pipe him in then. He was mic'd up, but they made the, I guess, editorial decision to not add whatever it is he said after that. But if you could imagine being a San Francisco 49ers fan for a second, first off, just stop crying, and then you dry your eyes and then get back on the internet and watch something. Watch this. I'm sure you'd be waiting to hear what Devontae Smith had to say about that catch. I didn't get it. Let's call a play. Like, at any point did he say that? Because I'm pretty sure he would have said something to that effect. Or maybe everybody else just knew it. Maybe just Jalen Hurts, everyone looked at each other like, oh, he didn't catch it. If he's doing that, he didn't catch it. Let's get this play off. And they did. And then a couple plays later, scored a touchdown. So there you go. But brought the energy, brought the fire, and certainly brought the noise as well throughout that game. So I highly recommend guys checking that out if you get an opportunity to watch it. As far as the two main guys that addressed the media yesterday, Brandon Graham, Jalen Hurts, excuse me. A.J. Brown also addressed the media. Jalen Hurts talked about something yesterday that I found really interesting. The number one thing was he was asked what was his favorite play of the season, and he just said, season's not over yet. Obviously, the reporter meant the regular season, but who cares? Jalen Hurts still, as he's been saying, after every win, after every game, and he's only lost once this season, he's been saying after every single game, it's still out there. That perfect game is still out there. We still haven't reached our best level of play. That focus, that determination, that eye on the prize, whatever you want to call it, is what I believe made this team the best team in the NFL this year. It's that incredible ability to ignore the idea of being perfect in terms of a perfect record, but keep on being in pursuit of perfection when it comes to playing the perfect game. A lot of teams try to do that. Eagles haven't done it yet. But despite being the best team in the NFL, despite being in the Super Bowl, despite being a little over a week away from actually kicking off in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts is still out there saying it's still out there in front of us. The pursuit of perfection is still out there. We are still going after that. So Jalen Hurts, yesterday when he was addressing the media, talked about the ability to stay focused with your eye on the prize and what has made this team so special all year.
I think, man, you just have to focus on everything that's in front of you and keep the main thing. You know, there's a lot of distractions all the time, and I think this time of year, when you're fortunate enough to make it this far, they're amplified. So hopefully everybody can stay focused on the task at hand, enjoy the moment, embrace the moment, but also, stay focused on what matters.
I've been saying it all week, and I talked about it again yesterday with Doug Peterson saying to Bill Belichick before kickoff of the Super Bowl, there's a game in here somewhere, right? We're getting pulled in a million different directions for media, for whatever we have to do, but there's a game in here somewhere, right? That's what Jalen Hurts is talking about there. With all the focus they've had, the great focus that they've had all season long, the number one thing right now is that there's going to be a million things thrown in your face over the next 7 days, over the next 8 days. You got to stay focused on the game. When you're at practice, when you're at walkthrough, focused on the game. When you're at the media sessions, focused on media night, focused on the game. Getting pulled in different directions for sponsors, parties, whatever it might be, stay focused on the game. The number one thing is the game. It's the biggest stage you will ever be on in your life. Ever. Stay focused on the game. There's a game in here somewhere, right? Yeah. Stay focused on it. This team has done a remarkable job. Now, when you talk about experience, Kansas City Chiefs obviously have been there before. They got the experience. When it comes to the production, it's just that one. It's just that one. Eagles are going to be looking to keep it that way after next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Brandon Graham also addressed the media yesterday, as I said. And one of the things I thought was interesting, two things he said that I thought were interesting. One was kind of when he knew this team was going to be special. I know that's a popular question when it comes to every team with success, but I'll tell you this. That 2017 team, I remember being in the locker room and just even in training camp, it just felt like with guys like Chris Long, it felt like guys like that, the way Malcolm Jenkins was, it just felt like everything was going to come together that year. Something was special in that locker room. Now, did that mean that I was going to go to the sports books and put down $1 million on the Eagles to win the championship? No, but it just felt like, this team is going to be pretty damn good this year. Can't wait to see how it unfolds. And boy, it unfolded the best it ever has. But Brandon Graham was asked about when he thought this team was going to be special.
I talked about it last year, going into this year, saying, man, we coming back strong next year. We doing all this because I was hurt and just put the work in, every day, one day at a time. And then when I seen the offseason moves, I was like, oh, man, we got us some stuff. And then training camp was really good. And man, all it was our consistency to just want to be better every day. And it's been working. And Coach definitely led the way.
That is, I think, a great acknowledgement from a great team leader about how important Nick Sirianni was in all of this. Like making everybody feel special throughout the entire process, making everybody feel heard throughout the entire process. And I think that's a really special quality of Nick Sirianni. He went on to speak about Nick Sirianni even a little bit more. But something else that he got into in that comment right there was just kind of looking around. And looking at all the different players on this team, some of the newer faces, a guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson coming in here, and everyone just buying in immediately. Even if it was a guy like Robert Quinn, who we barely saw this year, Fletcher Cox going up to him at the time the trade was made and just saying, hey, man, just let you know, we practice hard here. This isn't some other place where you're on vacation. We practice hard here. And Robert Quinn said, that's all I needed to hear. Okay. It's sucks that a lot of the athletes apparently don't practice hard. But apparently in Philadelphia, they practice hard. And it needs to be declared when a new guy comes in. Brandon Graham himself getting snubbed, not being comeback player of the year, not even getting a nomination for comeback player of the year. He comes back. He has a career year. Pretty remarkable. That's pretty special. That lets you know things are special. Things are going to be special during the season when you're feeling the best you felt in years, and he's able to come out and play at the level that he actually came out and played at. That is pretty awesome. Now, this is another thing. Something else we've talked about this week has to do with the Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni and his introductory press conference, where a lot of people just said, "No, this is a joke. This guy can't be the head coach." Well, it came up during the press conference when Nick Sirianni won Brandon Graham over. And here's what Brandon Graham had to say about when Nick won him over and maybe some teammates as well. Here is Brandon Graham on his head coach.
You know what? He won me over when he first got here because it was cool because that press conference he had that he, did all the stuff, said all the wrong things where y'all got on him. I just felt like he came into here and gave us his honest answer on how he felt about it. He was pissed about it, you know, and I love that because, you know, a lot of coaches wouldn't admit to, you know, sometimes when the media get under their skin, and, you know, it was just cool, just down to earth, cool guy. He had a good report coming in from a lot of guys that was there with the coach that I talked to.
Graham got cut off there for a second. But that was Brandon Graham talking about that. So Nick Sirianni actually went into the locker room and talked about that. How do you do that? I didn't know that. How do you do that? Like, I know two things that caught the locker room's attention regarding Nick Sirianni was definitely the public's reaction to Nick Sirianni's introductory press conference. The other thing that caught the attention was everyone's reaction to the flower power speech, and that upset the locker room. But as a coach who didn't exactly nail his introductory press conference, how do you broach that subject in the locker room? How do you bring that up? Do you show the team highlights of your press conference? I shouldn't even say highlights. Clips of your press conference. You'd be like, see right here where I couldn't get the word out and I was stuttering for about 20 seconds? That right there. And they ripped me for that. Like, do you show them that? You shouldn't show them that. But apparently they showed them that. Not good. And then finally, this guy is ripping Nick Sirianni now as well.
Who really is doing a good job because he's not getting in the way of his team. He has an experienced roster from top to bottom, offense, defense.
You see this stuff, though? Like, what's your reaction as a player? And that guy's doing it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, he's in for a free ride right now. You guys can coach this team and you can succeed. That's what we're looking for. That's how...
a bulletin board right there.
I mean, come on.
He might not be suited up for the Eagles anytime soon, but that's okay. There's 31 other teams. That's fine.
That's fine.
So he gets no credit. If you missed that guy, Julian Love of the New York Giants fame, of course, was the guy that whiffed on that one deep ball, in case you forgot that. I believe it was Eagles Nation that pointed out on Twitter, because I had forgotten about that because I just remember it was a great play by the Eagles. But Julian Love is now the guy saying that Nick Sirianni is getting a free ride. So in the course of a regular season and the playoffs now and a Super Bowl run, I guess, Micah Parsons wants to talk about how the Eagles have a phenomenal scheme. And he also wants to talk about how the Philadelphia Eagles are all the system and how it's coaching. And now it's not coaching. Now it's the players. Now it's the players giving the free ride to Nick Sirianni. And I guess that also includes Howie Roseman as well. Wow. What a time. I guess when you have so many different people to give credit to, when you have so many people, I guess, now fighting over who deserves that credit, I guess that means that everyone's pretty damn good. So thank you, Julian Love, for another wonderful compliment to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me tell you right now about the great people of Steven Singer. Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. Ladies and gentlemen, do what I do when it comes to all your amazing jewelry needs. Go to Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Little Toots is here. Hello again, sweet. See, again, the house is not soundproof. Yes, sweetheart. Mommy told you to come downstairs this time? Oh, really? Do you want to make mommy an Americano soon? Okay. We're gonna make mommy an Americano when I'm done with the show, okay? Do you want to sit down right there? Here, you want to say hi real quick? I know people love to see. Do you want to say hello real quick? Your Debbie's not working? I told everyone a couple weeks ago that you refer to your iPad as your Debbie. Here, just go ahead. Give a nice wave real quick. All right, you can go ahead and have a seat, sweetheart. She loves making her mommy Americanos, and we'll have to do that again. We'll do that again in a minute, okay, sweetheart? Star of the show, darling. Anyway, let me tell you about Manscaped. Manscaped. See, the studio is officially going to be starting to get built next week. We have some things to take care of, and then I'll build the studio, and I'll build a door. That door will have a lock on it. Yeah, that's the way that'll work. Oh, and soundproofing. So They can't hear me throughout the entire house through our ventilation system. I should just do this out from the pool house. Yeah, there's a pool house. It's really a shack. It's a shack that looks like it's about to fall apart. So it's probably not the safest idea for me, but it'll probably be the quietest in terms. Oh, no, the neighbors would probably, yeah, whatever. It's not like being in the city anymore where people just expect noise. Damn it. Anyway, let's get into the chat check, ladies and gentlemen. See how you wonderful people are doing. Kevin, good morning. April, good morning. Sean Gillespie loves Jonathan Gannon. So that's good. Almost everyone hates the process. Why do you hate the process? Oh, therefore the Sixers should just, because of the all-star snubs. Yeah, no, I get you. That makes sense. Professor Dutch. Good morning, Professor Dutch. Nice to see you. Nice to have you. Number of Cowboys fans whining for Niners fans cracks me up. April, I have seen that as well. The two forces have now joined sides in a complaining contest. A complaint contest, I guess. A wine line, if you will. And that brings me joy to see so many other people now pissed off. The Giants being pissed off. The Giants being angry. That's great as well. I think that's fantastic. I am enjoying their sadness. April, I think you put it best yesterday. Their tears taste so good. Professor Dutch had some frustration with the coaching staff, Sean. They had no business running Jalen like that in Chicago, but learn from it, and it doesn't hurt us against Kansas City. I hope not. I hope it doesn't hurt us against Kansas City. And Jalen Hurts having 11 runs to Miles Sanders only having 4, I believe, at the time in the third quarter is ridiculous. Hopefully they have learned from that. Professor Dutch, what did the follow-up on the dispensary talk yesterday? Weed store employees aren't chill because they're forced to work in all cash since cannabis is still legal federal level. Yes. Wanted to make this clear as a cannabis professional myself. Smoke them if you got them, kush, and go birds. Thank you, Professor Dutch. Appreciate that. I know it's harder for them to get a bank account. It's flagged in a lot of systems. So that definitely makes them not chill. Stephen Joseph. What's up, Stephen Joseph? That's cool. Sean Gillespie saying hi, little toots. People are saying hi to you, sweetheart. That's very nice. Let's see. Thanks, PJ. I'll take it. Wait, who are we thinking about? April, little toots. Real star deserves top billing. I have no counter argument. I agree. What am I missing here? Oh, April. Okay. Hey, guys. Well, I've said this about some other things in the past, but if you pray, some prayers. If you got good vibes, give good vibes for April's dad. That's what we're doing right now. So April, I pray. So I'll say some prayers. Definitely send some prayers. And I'll also, I love good vibes, so I'll send good vibes as well. But April, sorry to see that. I hope your dad is okay. All right. But yeah, we will absolutely be pulling for him. 9-hour drive. SB Ricky, morning Farzy and the crew, countdown to a 9-hour drive, Super Bowl bound. SB Ricky, come on home, baby. Come on home. Enjoy it for every second of it, please. Like I said earlier, don't take any of this for granted. I remember when the Phillies won in 2008, I saw little kids on Broad Street at 11:30. I'm talking about 8-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, and I'm just like, remember this, cherish every second of this, and I high five their dads, and dad's like, yeah, this is great, So yeah, cherish every moment. If you can get back in town for it, please. As of right now, there's plans for Jacob Media for me to be on Broad Street if everything goes right, if everything goes our way. There's plans for that to happen. So I would still get to do my the pregame show with Gunner and Seth Joyner. I would still get to hang out with everyone there. Great. Oh, by the way, check out Devin Caney on TikTok if you guys haven't done it already. She did a little behind-the-scenes tour of Jacob Media during our pregame show at Ocean Casino. So if you get a second, check that out, please. Secondly, I really hope I get to be down there in my natural habitat amongst the fans and just partying and hanging out with all you guys on Broad Street, because that would absolutely be incredible. So yeah, definitely make your way down there. Mihai Sanchez, just got to go out there and treat it like any other another game. Don't know about another chance later on. You never know. You never know. You never know. What are you digging in the drawer? You got all Daddy's cough drops? You want Daddy's Harlem Globetrotters wristband? Yeah. Yeah, this is yours. This is I don't know why you made that, but you made that.
I made that?
You made that, yeah. What? It's like a little medal from the office.
Why is this made?
I don't know why you made it, but you made it, you nut. That's fine. She's playing with a mace or a vice now on the workbench.
This.
Ooh, I still have a. That's very nice, sweetheart. Are the Eagles going to win on Sunday? Next Sunday? Yeah. Okay, I think that was a yeah. Thank you, sweetheart. Here's my calculator. Go see if you can do bowling on that. Yep, still have a calculator. Still have a calculator.
I don't need this.
You don't need that? Okay, it's like a phone, but not. Anyway. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else here. A lot of things going on. Sean Gillespie, what's up, Sean Gillespie? All this because the Eagles' unpreparedness and putting the quarterback in unnecessary danger in Chicago, driving me even more crazy. Sean Gillespie loves Gannon. There we go. That's good. We're all getting along. We're all having a good time.
Daddy.
April, you need to do an episode where you interview her. I should do an interview. Yes, sweetheart. What are you eating? Is that gross?
No.
No, that's been in my desk for about a year and a half. That's a long time.
Tastes good.
That tastes good? You don't like any other cough drops, but you like those. You haven't even had like a sherbet flavored anything. What do you... Here's what Lil Toots is eating right now. Hall's Breezers. Great taste. Soothes everyday throat irritations. Please don't put that back in the drawer. It's in your mouth. Oh. No, I don't want it. You know what the best power move is? For anyone that doesn't have kids, let me just tell you this. The best power move is when they're done with something and they have trash.
What? It's a cow can.
Where's the trash can? I don't have a trash. Here, that bag right there has been my trash can. It's when they're done with something and they just hold it up. Like, oh, peasant, throw in my trash, please. That's the biggest power move right there. Yeah, I figured we're a year away from kids say the darndest things with her.
What?
I think.
Here.
Yeah, there's more in there, sweetheart. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know if there's an expiration date on those.
I just want to see
There you go. Just don't use any of the Sharpies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
That door will have a lock on it, a retina scan to be opened, something like that. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody over here. No, I think I got all you guys. SB Ricky, safe travels. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. 76ers back at it tonight in San Antonio, 8 o'clock tip-off. We'll see how all things go down there. Sixers look to win 2 in a row. Yes, sweetheart. Yeah, you cleaned it up. Thank you, sweetheart. You going to watch the Sixers with me tonight? No, I didn't think so. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Jim Hyder produced the program, did a wonderful job. Trying to line up some good guests, obviously, for Super Bowl week. I can tell you right now, for Tuesday's show, the great Ray Didinger will be joining us next week. Look forward to catching up with Ray about all things Eagles, his year in semi-retirement, and having himself a great time back with the NBC people as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. April will be praying for you and your dad, of course. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Jim Hyder produced the program, did a wonderful job. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. My name is Mark Farzetta. Manalut, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. All right, guys. See you Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.